YouTube family, was good, was good. All right, let's dive right on into it. So, right here, you've got a picture of the earth as depicted by those who wrote the scriptures. You'll see the vault of heaven, the moon, the stars, and the sun. Bunch of birds, earth, Sheol, which is hell. Above that, you've got the water above the vault, and then you've got the firmament, and then heaven beyond the firmament. Why am I showing this and why I feel it's key and important? So lately we've been having a lot going on as far as discovery. And what do I mean by discovery? Discovery as to who we are as a people, black people, and that being important to not just black Americans, but blacks as a whole, but the rest of the people on this planet. There's a lot of information coming to us as black folks at one time, right? And it's a scary thing, but to me, I think it's an awesome thing, because at one time, we're sitting here in the middle of the desert. Then next thing you know, we're getting a torrent, flood, if you will, of information, and it's beautiful. It's a great thing. And though we're getting all this knowledge, now what do we do with it, right? How do we proceed with this information that we have, and how do we use it to our advantage? I think it's a great thing, because as we start to develop and realize who we are, it helps the rest of the world. And once the rest of the world sees who it is that we are, then we as a people can start to figure out, all right, now, what the hell do we live on? This is why I'm showing the picture, because
red light camera in 0.1 mile.
What the hell is it that we live on? Where do we live? We're being told that we live on a ball. We're starting to find out little by little, especially with this flat earth movement, that this may not be the case. I fall into that category in which I don't believe that we live on this ball that we've been professed to by mainstream science. So there are 1,000,001 ways in which you can prove that we don't live on a ball. And now the science community, the mainstream science community, is starting to kind of feel the wrath of the people, those people being flat earthers. And daily, this group of people are starting to wake up and realize that we don't live on a ball, hurtling through space at thousands of miles an hour. Spinning around a sun that's also hurtling through space falling through space at thousands of miles an hour in the arm of a galaxy that is one of gazillion galaxies in this universe. So with this being said, one of the big things I want you to take away from this video is that you have to realize, people, that the adventure isn't up in space, because they tried to send a rocket to this place called, to the moon, which the moon isn't a place, really. I know it sounds crazy, but you'll start to learn that the moon is not really a place, but you have to do this research. I'll drop a couple of links in the description box. It's not a place, and also that the adventure is not in it's just not in, the adventure isn't in the sky. The adventure is here on this planet. I know that's wild, right? But if you take a look at that, this is a temple in Palmyra, Syria, right? It was a temple in Palmyra, Syria. It ended up being demolished. On the right, you see how it's demolished right there. That was done by ISIS. ISIS being a branch of the U.S., I know it's going to sound like it sucks, but it is what it is, of the U.S. Armed Forces. And with ISIS doing what it did a bang up fucking job, because it ended up destroying something of antiquity. Why were they leveling places like this? Not just here, but one of these, a few of these were also destroyed. They went to taking freaking jackhammers, sledgehammers, pickaxes, saws, you name it. They used demolition equipment, bulldozers, and this is a Lamasu, mind you, right? One of the the protectors of the gates of Nimrod or Gilgamesh in Iraq, right? The Lamasu, and it's said to have had 5 legs. That's the crazy thing. If you look at that thing closely, its 4 legs are actually, there are 3 of them. It had 5 legs. This is a weird creature. That thing right there is like 22 feet tall. It's ridiculous, mad crazy. Either way, some of these stuff of antiquity was being destroyed, especially in the Middle East, or what's actually Northeast Africa, right? Still part of the continent, only divided by the Suez Canal. All of this is important because it has us thinking, and our government and the rest of the world's governments have us thinking that space is a thing, when in fact it's not. They're drawing our attention away from this planet, here, where the adventure and the craziness is, and having us focus our attention on a place that we'll never be able to attain. If we were able to attain these places, we would have had, because we always do it, right? Once we land somewhere, we put something on it. So we would have had robots. We would have had a colony, a mining colony. We would have had a gas station, you name it, a refueling depot, domes all over space, all over the moon. We don't, because it's not possible to do these things, because the moon is not what you think. The moon is actually, more than likely, a reflection of this earth. As above, so below. On earth as it is in heaven, right? As above, so below. That's an ancient Hermetic teaching. There's a reason why they said that. That moon is not what you think that it is. And though they have us running back and forth to and fro thinking we've accomplished something by sending Artemis up in the sky, it did not go to the moon because that's all cap, right? We're pulling our attention away from where the adventure actually is, and it's here on this earth. So if you look at this right here, this is the Rikat structure, which is in Northwest Africa, and this is also called the Eye of Africa. This was at one time considered, and still considered by many, to be the original Atlantis, right? It used to be covered in water, and it used to spout hot and cold water from its epicenter. And just north of that area is the Atlas Mountains, where King Atlas was said to have lived. King Atlas. Where do we know Atlas from? We know Atlas to be the god that held the world on his shoulders, right? Atlas is also another name for geographical atlas, the freaking maps that you have in books that show you, different places on this world. This is just funny stuff. This is things not only of antiquity, but current news, right? That we should be looking to these places, these structures, these places that are mysterious, that are under our feet, because we're always being lied to. And I'm referring to this flat earth because it ties in with where we live. And why is this so important? I feel that this is important because once we get around to knowing who we are, then we can move on to where we live. Now, once we know that who we are and we start figuring out where we live, it will remove a lot of this anxiety that we're suffering as a race of people. It'll start to have us look at the bigger picture and figure that, hey, these people that say that they're on our side, they're actually not on our side. They're not looking out for our better interest, right? The CIAs, NSAs, FBIs, and stuff like that. We're being led around like cattle. This is why things like NBA, NFL, NBA boxing, video games, marijuana even. There's a reason why they legalized marijuana in the United States, right? They're doing their best to keep us dumb and docile as best as they can. And it's fucking working. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking working, but a lot of us ain't falling for the hook. Because as soon as you start blazing and puffing on that stuff, what's going to wind up happening is you're going to lose your edge. All the government needs is for you to lose a little bit of your edge so they could pounce on you, man. There's a saying in the scriptures that says, the devil lurks around like a lion, waiting to devour its prey. Do not let yourself fall to be prey. Do a little bit of research. Look into the flat earth. If you look online, they're going to send you to places. They're going to show you things like a big old disc in the middle of the expanse of space with with like little stalactites, not stalactites, but little icicles around it, floating through space, saying that you could walk off the edge. That's all cap. That's the Flat Earth Society. There's a very big difference. You have a movement of people that understand that this world is not what we think it is, right? Look into the Flat Earth. Do your research. You will be surprised at what you see. You'll be surprised with how much NASA actually invests in green screen technology, how much NASA actually invests in NVIDIA. Notice the stock price in NVIDIA. NVIDIA is one of the most big things when it comes to graphics, deepfake, CGI, right? Computer generated imaging. These things are very important to these government institutions to keep you dumb and docile and fooled at the same time. And they're trying to pull your mind away from the adventure and the mystery that's under your feet, that's on this earth right here, right? That this earth is not a ball, that it's flat. And once you blow that gate wide open, now you have a bunch more questions. That's the crazy part of this whole thing. Once you figure out that you've been lied to about this one thing, it'll start having you ask questions as to why, what about this? What about that? What about that? What about this? Then it'll turn out that the whole education system is flawed. It's totally flawed. We already know it's flawed. But once you realize to what degree these motherfuckers went to try and fool everybody, I mean, you will lose a lot of respect. And I'm telling you, your astronomers better be on the run, because a lot of people are going to want their heads, and your astronomers will be out of a job also, right? Your Neil deGrasse Tysons are going to be heading for the hills. They're going to wish that outer space existed, because that's where they will want to go. Because a lot of people are going to be looking for answers that these guys will not be able to answer, because obviously they're gatekeepers of sorts, keeping the truth from us. So we need to wake up. Do your due diligence. Look into it. I'm going to drop some stuff in the description box just to kind of get you along, but you'll see for yourself. You'll see the stuff that I've gotten to see. I was fortunate enough to get to see for myself. All right, YouTube, tell me what you think. Health, wealth, wisdom, peace, love, all that. Wisdom, 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 lots of money. All right, so give me a like, share, subscribe. I'm out.